Alright, I'm going to show how this intelligent pump controller saves well pumps in 5 different ways. Alright, the first one I'm going to show is under voltage. The way I'm going to do this, not under voltage, but run dry. I'm going to tell the pump that the running current of the motor is actually the run dry current. So I just programmed the run dry current right there. I'm going to put this in auto mode. I'm going to connect these two wires, which represents a pressure switch. It's going to kick on, get up to running speed, and then it's going to blink. Dry run. And it'll wait for however long you tell it. I have it programmed for 1 minute, but it would go for up to 4 hours if you turn that up. So now I'm going to show the overcurrent fault. And I'm going to just run this back down. And then overcurrent. So I'm going to tell it that the running current is an overload condition. So now, after 5 seconds of overload, it'll shut the motor off, and it won't let you do anything until you actually come down to the pump and reset it. So here it's running up to speed. After a few seconds, overload, and it'll just wait indefinitely until somebody comes down and physically hits this mode button, and that resets the overload fault. That could be caused by sand in your pump or a lot of different things. So I'm going to just set that back to normal. I'm going to show the under voltage. So let's say 250 volts is an under voltage condition, or say 252. Now, for a real pump, you'd set this up plus or minus 5% of your line voltage, so it's a 240 volt pump. And see, right now it's already showing under volts, and I can't even run the pump, which is awesome because that means people can't wreck your pump with it set up the correct under voltage. So then I'm going to go back and change to over voltage. Yeah, so you'd want to set this up to plus or minus 5%, which is about 228 volts low voltage, and then 252 volts would be an over voltage condition. You might want to do 10%, probably 10% is what I'll do. But, so I'm not going to set that up right now, it just takes forever to go down there. And then over voltage, I'm going to set this down to like 245. Oh, that's up. That way it'll just show me overcurrent or over voltage alarm. And then auto mode. Now with over voltage, you can run the pump for a little bit. And then after however much time you say to wait, it shuts down. And that's cool because power lines typically tend to spike a little bit. So you can give that like a 5-second delay. And that way, you know, it'll ride through a power line surge, but it won't fry your pump motor from like a long-term surge. Because it's like when it surges like really long that it really fries stuff. And even then, an overcurrent protection will catch that also. And then, so I'm going to go back and reset that up to normal. And then the fifth thing that's really awesome is the liquid level probes. And this is great for wells that are low producers. And so here I've got these little electrodes. Get my pump to stay on here. Got these little electrodes in here. So say you could add these just as extra run dry protection, or say you have a low producing well. As your water gets drawn down in your well, eventually comes off the bottom of these probes, shuts it down, and then you just have these probes set up so that, say you got 10 feet of drawdown in your well. So you got a well that only produces 10 gallons a day. It'll just cycle between these two probes. Bump it down. Pump it back up. And it'll just sit there all day long. Run that down, run it back up again. And that's still running with a pressure tank. No holding tank needed. You're still running off of a pressure switch. When you finally get enough water out of your well, pressure switch cuts off, and you have water. So it's 5 ways this intelligent controller really saves well pumps. And I know of at least one well pump that would have been saved just by the first function there, the run dry protection from undercurrent. So I think it's a pretty good controller.